So far, I am 2 for 2 with modern horror films. The other day, I got to check out The Empty Man, which I think released in the US October 23rd. I don't know if it was like a theatrical, straight to video, or whatever it was. I assume it had some kind of a theatrical run. It was directed, written, and produced by David Pryor, who, when I looked at his credits, I think he's basically done like video shorts and documentaries and stuff like that up to this point. I think this is his first feature film, but don't quote me on that. And it is based on a comic book by Cullen Bunn, which I kind of knew existed. I think Boom Studios put it out. I heard the name before, but I haven't. I've never read an issue or anything like that, so I didn't really know anything about it going in. And it stars James Badge Dale. I think he's in The Departed. Marin Ireland, who was in The Dark and the Wicked, which I reviewed just recently, which was excellent. Stephen Root, Jimmy James from News Radio is what I remember him from. He's also in that comedy movie, Office Space. And Ron Canada, who is not from Canada, but he's been in basically everything you've ever seen ever. The thing I remember him most from, he was in an episode of The X-Files. He's probably in more than one, but he's in one in particular near the end of it, where John Doggett's like investigating his own son's case or something like that. And then Sasha Frolova, who I guess was from the OA. I haven't checked out any of that stuff. Admittedly, I would have completely bypassed this movie. When I didn't even really see a lot of like a trailer that I could think of really, but all the images and stuff that I saw about it made me think that this was some kind of boring, teen-filled supernatural horror movie. A bunch of and even I think the description is a bunch of teenagers or something like that get together and try to like summon up a demon, and the film is basically about what happens to them as a result, which is not what this movie is about whatsoever. I assume that whoever marketed the movie just didn't know what to do with it. And again, I haven't seen the trailers or something, anything like that. Maybe they kind of are cut better, but like I said, synopsis and whatever information you can kind of get quickly from searching it from that I saw outside of a trailer just failed miserably at letting me know what this movie was. On a top level, you can see where it could get confused with something like Slender Man or something along those lines, but it is not that at all. And I think that's, again, why the studios would have had trouble marketing this thing, maybe, not sure who to sell it to. But it is absolutely criminal that this thing was dropped during a pandemic. It is a really, really good film, and I think it needed to get in front of more eyes, and I think it would have done really well if it did. But instead they dropped it, on, I don't know, like, again, it may have had a theatrical run. Now it's out on VOD. But it shifts between like a supernatural horror film, like a mystery thriller, I guess, and even like a psychological horror movie. And it shifts like so well that it's not jarring whatsoever. It just moves between everything so nicely. It's a long movie. It was like 2 hours and 20 minutes, but not a lot like a hard slog to watch whatsoever. In fact, the opening of the film is quite long before you even see a title card. And I didn't even notice that, I was kind of surprised by the title card, like, that I thought that maybe I just missed it or something like that at the very start. But it makes sense. It almost plays out in like 3 nice acts, and they all complement each other and work within the story, and I just thought it was really well put together. Well acted, absolutely well acted. Shot so well. Music's great. It's like kind of like an industrial soundtrack. Again, I don't know anything that David Pryor's done before this. Like I said, as far as I know, he's done documentaries and stuff like that. But, my hope is that he definitely gets to do more films in the future, because this was really well made. There were some unanswered questions for me, but I guess the main takeaway with this film with me is that I was thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it, a day or two later. There's a great twist at the end that, I only half saw coming. And it's a great ending as well, just in general. There were so many layers and strings and things going on that there's some questions that I don't think are answered, but I think it's one of those movies that you could rewatch. I think the rewatchability on this is going to be high, because I think if you rewatch it, you can go and pick out little tidbits here and there that probably make the whole thing make sense. I really think that it's well enough made that that's probably the case, and I just missed a few things, so this is one I hope comes out on Blu-ray soon, so I can pick up a copy for sure. So, in the end of the day, I have to say, I think you should really check out The Empty Man. If you're like me and you thought that this was this teen supernatural movie, and you were just going to skip it. I think it was Lauren Dixon and Pizzelle. They were like, you got to check this movie out. It's not what you think it is. That is absolutely the truth. It is a really, really well made, good film. One you should spend your time on, I think. It's out on VOD for sure. That's how I checked it out. I assume that there's a Blu-ray either coming out soon if it's not already out in the US. Definitely worth a watch however you can get your hands on it. And yeah, I can't recommend it enough. I think I gave it a 4 on Letterboxd. So right now it's pretty much my favorite film of 2020. I liked it more than The Dark and the Wicked, which is saying a lot. I just think there's more to think about and to chew on afterwards. As much as I appreciated the bleakness and how they took on evil in The Dark and the Wicked, this is a totally different story, and it's just something that's more my style, I guess. I hope if you check it out, you enjoy it. If you do, let me know in the comments. If you didn't enjoy it, let me know in the comments too. I'd love to talk about your thoughts on the film, absolutely. But until next time, cheers.